how do you figure out what a country really values? I mean, you could look at its laws, its art, its politics, or you could look at what it asks of its children. Today, we're going to do just that by digging into a competitive exam that tells a really fascinating story about a nation's priorities.
So, let me ask you a question. How confident are you in your social studies knowledge? You know, your geography, your history, all that stuff? Because we're about to see how it stacks up against what's expected of a 10-year-old.
What you're looking at here is a page from the International Social Studies Olympiad. It's a competitive exam for fourth graders in India, and the questions on it, well, they paint an incredible picture of the world these kids are expected to master. So here's our game plan. We're going to explore this challenge through a few key areas: the physical world, the nation's long history, how its government works, and its amazing culture. And by the end, we'll get a real sense of what it takes to be an Olympian and what that tells us about modern India. First up, geography. But listen, this is so much more than just memorizing capital cities. It's about building this incredibly detailed mental map of the physical world, from the dirt under your feet to the air way up above your head. Okay, get a load of this. Question 20 gives students a map of India, highlights one little section, and asks them to name the type of forest found there. Is it evergreen, deciduous, mangrove, or montane? Just think about that. To get this right, a 10-year-old has to connect a specific spot on a map with its unique climate and its entire ecosystem. And that's really just the beginning. The exam covers this unbelievable range of topics. Kids need to know which type of soil is best for growing wheat. They have to identify the biggest freshwater lake, find major national parks, and even know the exact chemical makeup of the air we're all breathing. It's a way of looking at the world that says the environment isn't some separate subject. It's the basic operating system for the entire country. And notice how practical all this knowledge is. This question doesn't just ask them to identify a soil type, it connects that soil directly to the nation's food supply. It's all linked. This is just a perfect example of how broad the definition of social studies really is here. To understand society in this way of thinking, you also have to understand the fundamental science of the planet itself. All right, so from the physical world, let's jump into the world of time, because the historical knowledge they need to have is just as huge. We're talking about a timeline that spans thousands of years, from ancient empires right up to the digital age. For example, a student is expected to know that Hampi was the capital of the Vijayanagara Empire. That was a super powerful kingdom in South India hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So this isn't just recent history, it's a really deep dive into the subcontinent's incredible past. And the detail here is absolutely crucial. A fourth grader needs to know not just about this famous monument, but the specific 13th century ruler, a guy named Iltutmish, who finished building it. I mean, that is a remarkable demand for specific, factual recall. But just when you think it's all about ancient history, bam! The exam throws a total curveball. What is the full form of SMS? The answer, of course, is short message service. And that contrast is just amazing. One second you're thinking about a medieval empire, and the next you're defining technology that's barely a few decades old. So, students have a grasp of the land and the timeline, but how does it all actually function today? Well, this next section is all about civics, giving these kids an early education in the machinery of a modern democracy and what it means to be a citizen. And these aren't just abstract ideas. Take a look at this question about the right that prohibits child labor. It directly connects a high-level constitutional idea to a child's own reality and their own protection. The exam really builds a complete picture of the state. Students learn about their rights, but also their duties. They learn how the government is structured, the jobs of its leaders, the public services they see around them, and the real meaning behind the national symbols they see every single day. Right. Take this question about national symbols. It isn't just about being able to identify the Ashoka chakra, that's the wheel in the flag, and the emblem. No, the question asks what it symbolizes. It's pushing students to understand the country's core philosophy, ideas like justice, righteousness, and progress. Okay, so with this whole foundation in place, we get to the final leg of our tour, what I'm calling the cultural gauntlet. This is where students get tested on their knowledge of India's just immense diversity. Its art, its dances, its languages, its traditions, the whole shebang. For instance, students are shown several different folk dances, and they have to connect the super energetic Bhangra dance with its home state of Punjab. It's really a celebration of regional identity. Same thing goes for art. students are shown this vibrant Madhubani painting, which is a traditional style known for its really intricate geometric patterns, and they're expected to know that it comes from the state of Bihar. And I gotta say, I love this one. It's a riddle. It says, I am a popular beverage crop grown in the hilly regions of Assam and West Bengal. My leaves are carefully plucked. Who am I? And the answer, of course, is tea. It's brilliant. It weaves together farming, geography, and daily culture all into one single question. So, after going through this incredibly complex landscape of geography, history, civics, and culture, what's the ultimate takeaway? What does it actually mean to be a social studies Olympian? Well, the first thing that just hits you is the sheer scale of the knowledge required. It's honestly staggering to expect a 10-year-old to know about everything from alluvial soil composition to who finished the Qutb Minar, from their fundamental rights to what SMS stands for. But more importantly, this is so much more than just a memory test. What it really is an early blueprint for creating a very specific type of citizen, someone who is deeply, deeply knowledgeable about their country's environment, its long and complex history, its rich social fabric, and their own place within it all. And this brings us to one last really powerful question. If this is the foundation that's being laid down at age 10, what does this intense, comprehensive preparation tell us about the future that these children are being groomed to build and to lead?